I'm very pleased with the day, mostly because Tom Ford, sitting next to me for the last time, gets a win, because his last game, at the end of the season last year was Richmond, and we didn't win that game, so now he leaves it with a victory. And it was a very emotional night, and I'm glad we were able to play as well as we did in the second half, and turn this thing into everything about him and not about a bad loss. So very pleased.
Jalen, what about that? You had a career high today on Tom Ford night. You could see that you guys were moved as a team, as players, everything about it. What was it like for you? How'd you deal with all that emotion?
Yeah, it was just added motivation for us, man. We try to stay focused on bringing it every night, but with this being T4's night, it was just added motivation for us. So, like Coach said, just being motivated to give him a win. His last time sitting on the bench.
Did you guys talk about that, like in the pregame or in the locker room, maybe the days leading up to it? Did you guys mention that as a squad together?
Yeah, even before the season started, we marked that on our calendars. December 9th is T4 night. So we knew before the season even got going, how special this night was, and so we had to bring it.
Jim, what about you? A career high here today. Coach Kampe said in the post-game interview with Lauren Jabara, said we made a concerted effort to get Jalen Hayes the basketball. You'll take that, right? You'll take it anytime they want to throw it down there.
Definitely. Just trying to, stay aggressive, play my roles. A couple times down there where I was being too unselfish, you know what I mean? So just trying to be as aggressive as I can down there. Our team needs that, from me scoring down in the paint. So just trying to stay aggressive.
Coach, you challenged your team defensively here today. You held Chicago State to a low shooting percentage. Did you see what you wanted to see?
Well, obviously one of their weaknesses as a team is they don't shoot the ball very well. So I think we guarded the guys that could shoot. Sims is a guy that can really shoot it for him. I think we guarded him pretty well. We made some mistakes. I got to play a lot of younger guys with all the injuries, and with Kendrick out, with Beck out. I got to play some guys. Stan Scott finally got a concerted amount of run, and we believe, and you heard me say that at the beginning of the year, that I thought Stan Scott had a chance to be, an unbelievable player at Oakland. He's a athlete galore. He is a high major athlete, and I think people got to see that today. The alley-oop that got missed, but he was a foot above the rim.
Block shots.
And his rebounding, his arms are up there with Isaiah's, and so I think you see that. But he's raw. He's really raw, and he needs minutes. And on this team, it's going to be hard to find minutes because I got a veteran team with high expectations. So in a game like this, we were able to get some minutes for him, so we were able to see some of the things that he could do. The big thing that I liked is that he was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, and that was really good. He had 3 turnovers in 23 minutes, which isn't bad. But he had 3 steals, 2 blocks, 2 assists. So he's a stat sheet stuffer, which great athletes usually are. Not a shooter, not a guy that's going to be drilling threes and things like that, but a guy who could just make plays happen. So I think our fan base got to see the future a little bit today with him, and hopefully we won't need him too much this year, but if we do, I think he'll be there and can help us.
So, Coach, as you guys get ready now for the big one in a lot of the fans' minds of Michigan State at Little Caesars Arena, you guys are very banged up, though, as it sits right now. You still have yet to have your full team for a game this season. It's got to be frustrating for you.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're not going to ever have the full team because Brad had his evaluation. He got out of his boot on Friday, and basically what they said is he's going to be in this walking shoe for 6 more weeks. That puts it to mid-January. If he could come out and play right away, I'm going to have a decision to make, because do we sacrifice a year? Do we sacrifice a year for glory this year? And it'll depend on where we're at and what we're looking like and that. And Julius Palmer, how he continues to grow. And I'll have a tough decision to make, because I've said all along, I thought, Brad, this was going to be a breakout year. This is the year Will Hudson broke out. And Brad reminds me a lot of Will. So we won't probably have him. So we got to get Beck back. I mean, that's a really big one. He had really played well as a freshman. But, you know, we don't have a true 4 to back up Beck. Jalen Hayes if Beck can't go. Palambizio can play some 4. He can do some stuff, but he's not your prototypical 4. Now, we'll have to figure a way out and play Chris in that position if we don't get Beck back. If we find out that it is a stress fracture, which we're going to find out on Monday. He's got a bone scan on Monday, and we're hoping that it's not a stress fracture. If it is, then we're going to have to really find a way to plug the hole at the 4, and I'm not sure what we'll do. We can bring Chris in and play untraditionally and play him on the perimeter when Jalen's out of the game, or which we did tonight a little bit, or we can start to I actually had Isaiah and Palmer on the 4 at the same time tonight, that's a lot of size and length, but it's not a lot of offense. So if we can get Kendrick healthy, maybe we don't need a lot of offense with him, Mellon, and Nick. So there's a lot of question marks if we don't get healthy, but I would prefer that we are healthy and we can be the team that we thought we were going to be, because we sure haven't had that chance yet.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.